All right. Got everything set up. So I think we good. All right. So any questions, you guys? Anything on the homework? Any questions about the topics? We're gonna have our test next week, Tuesday. All right. So we're gonna have our test next week, Tuesday. So I wanted to give it to y'all today, but I thought it wasn't fair if I did that because I just gave y'all the last topic that's gonna be on the test last week. You know, like you guys just got the homework. You didn't even have a chance to try it yet or ask questions about it today, like which I was thinking about for today. So I wanted to give you guys that opportunity, you know, next week, Tuesday. Yeah. Also, today is our last class for the week. You know, there's a holiday this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we just have today, and then next week when you come back, we'll take the test. Everything that we did, except for what we learned today. Whatever we learned today is not going to be on your test. Yeah. But the homework for it is posted though, so you guys can do that. I mean, you guys have days now, you know, to study and everything. So, yeah. But yeah, any questions? Let me get one of these slides so we can. So let's take a vote. Like this, and like this. Don't like. Oh, they went the first one. This one like this. All right. So yeah, questions, please. Anything. Is it all understandable? It's all good? All right. As usual, you know, I'm gonna record this and send it out. Trying to think, right? Like pantry was last week, so that means that next week is pantry. It's gonna be my only update to y'all, so I gotta tell y'all that now. All right. We really good. Nobody got no questions for real, for real. All right. Y'all seen the review sheet? The review sheet was posted. All right. That's basically what the test is gonna look like. If you see something crazy on the review sheet and you're like, yo, I never seen that in the homework and I never heard it in class, it's not on your test. All right. Just letting y'all know that. But that is the review sheet for our test. It's on Brightspace, yeah. The very last announcement that I made is in there. Yeah, it has the date of the exam, the review sheet. Did I post the cheat sheet with it? I'm not sure. A while back? Got you. So I'm gonna give you that also. I never. Yeah. Yeah. I never actually printed it out for y'all, just because like I couldn't find the time to get it. But I got y'all for the test though. All right, since y'all good, I gave y'all a few minutes. All right, let's look at what we're gonna get into today then, all right? So, all right, I'm trying to keep it simple right now. Keep it simple. All right. Make sure my pen working. All right. So I'm gonna keep this simple. Let's say 2 times 3. What's that equal? 6. 6, right? All right. So 2 times 3, right? Think of 2 times 3 as the factors of 6. right? And then 6 would be like, our quotient, right? So here's what I'm trying to get at. Let me not even say it like that. Here's what I'm trying to get at, right? I want to go, whenever I'm going from 2 times 3 to 6, we call that multiplication, right? Just put an X there, multiplication. But if I wanted to go from 6 to 2 times 3, we call that factoring, right? And that's what we're getting into today, right? We're going to be doing factoring, all right? But, right? We all are more advanced than just doing numbers, right? So here's the real type of factoring that we're getting into, right? With polynomials and stuff, right? So let's say, for example, I had 2x times x plus 3 is equal to 2x squared plus 6x, right? The 2x times x plus 3 are the factors, whereas the 2x squared plus 6x is the product, right? Just like our 2 times 3 equals 6, right? Same thing. Right? So I'm not interested in going from what 2x times x plus 3 is to the 2x squared plus 6x. I'm interested in going from the 2x squared plus 6x back to the 2x times x plus 3. All right, so we're doing the reverse. And the first thing we're going to talk about, the greatest common factor, GCF, right? Like Ali, he was the greatest, right? So the greatest common factor of 2 or more expressions is the largest expression that is a factor of all the expressions, right? So it must be a factor of all the expressions. Let's take a look. So we'll start y'all off easy, right? We're gonna start off with monomials, right? Remember, monomial is one term, right? One term. So I have 3 monomials here, right? One term. What is the greatest common factor of these? I have 21x cubed, 9x squared, 15x. Can anybody tell by looking what it is? Good. That's a piece of it. What's the whole thing? 3 what? No, not 3 squared. You're close, right? You got the number part of it, but there's a variable part. What is it? What do we think? What do they all have in common? 3x. That's it, right? That's our greatest common factor. All right, but let's say that we didn't see that on the first go around, right? Here's how you could figure it out. I have 21x cubed, right? Now, what is 21x cubed? Like, what are the factors of 21x cubed? So I know that this is going to be what? 3, right? Times 7, my fault, times x, times x, times x. Hey, how are you? Good, good. That's for 21 x cubed. Let me do the same thing for 9x squared, right? So I have 9x squared, right? And then I know that this is going to be what? This is going to be 3 times 3 times x times x, right? And I'm going to do the same thing again now for the 15x. So I have 15x. So what's this going to be? This is 3 times 5 times x, right? So an easy way now to find the greatest common factor is it's whatever they have in common, right? So all of them have at least 1 3. There it is. And all of them have at least 1 x. That's what they all have in common, right? So the greatest common factor, GCF, of this is 3x, right? just to give you an idea of what it is. I would love it if you guys can just look at it and tell, right? But this is to give you an idea of what it is. So numerical wise, I want a number that they all have in common. Variable wise, whatever variable has the smallest power in the set is the factor. So for example, I have x cubed, x squared, and x by itself, right? They all have an x, but the one that has the least power is x to the one, which is right here, right? So that's it. Right. Like if it was 15x squared, it would be x squared, right? And that's it. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a chance to try. I'll make it a little bit harder. I'm gonna give y'all m's instead of x's. Why? Because Eminem's one of my favorite rappers. Yeah. Give y'all a second to try. Oh yeah, I know you just came in. I was saying, that today's gonna be our only class for the week, right? And then next week, Tuesday, we come back, we're gonna do our test. No review. I mean, there was a review posted last week, yeah, but nobody had questions. Everybody said it was light. So look at the last announcement. It's right there. The link for it. Oh, this answer? Yeah. Good job. Also, I think pantry was like last week, so next week should be pantry. No, I'm sorry. No, they can. The only day that school is like closed, and y'all can't come here is Monday. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow and all that, like school is open. If you want to see, if you want to go to registrar, bursar, you want to see your advisor, everybody's working tomorrow. It's just that there's no classes scheduled. All right. Yeah, like that's a university closing. So like you can't even get on campus. You can't go run on the track, none of that. Yeah. Huh? Five and what? Right? That's it. Monday the 7th, yeah. Oh, Columbus Day. Hold on. Let me grab this. Monday the 7th, yeah. School's closed that day. Look at the academic calendar and you'll see it. It's like a PDF and it'll tell you. Yeah. 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 So I heard 5m squared. Everybody got that? Do y'all want to see how it's done or y'all get the idea? Get the idea? You want to see another one or you feel good? That's the 14th. Good. All right. It's the 14th? You're right. That's the day I'm in. You're right. That's the day I'm in. Right. It's the day after because what's it called? 11 and 12. Those days are no classes, which is a Friday and a Saturday. Yeah. Or is it Saturday and Sunday? Something like that. It's Friday and Saturday. Yeah. This week is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week is Saturday, Sunday, I think, and then Monday to 14. No, nothing. Tuesday's a Monday schedule. Yeah. Yeah, so that dang, we don't even meet that day then. Because it's a Monday schedule. Sad. All right. But I'll type that up to y'all when it gets closer. All right. All right, so now that we know greatest common factor, I'm going to talk about the distributive property. All right. So if A, B, and C are real numbers, then A times B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. And AB plus AC is equal to A times B plus C. The form on the left is used to multiply, but the form on the right is used to factor. And that's where we at right now, right? That's the distributive property. Excuse me. So what I want to do, I want to use this distributive property to factor a polynomial, right? So we just did monomials. I want to do a polynomial now. So look at that, right? A little bit more advanced, right? I have 8m cubed minus 12m squared n plus 20m n squared. Just off the bat, let's see if you guys could get it. What's the greatest common factor here? What do you guys think?
4.
4. Good. What else? No. No. No.
And 4m.
4m. You had it. 4 is plain 4m, right?
Oh,
yeah. Because remember, the one with the lowest power, that's the one that's going to be the factor. And you see how the first term, 8m cubed, doesn't have an n? That's why n is in the conversation, right?
So it's 4m. Okay.
4m, right? Now, look how you write your answers here, right? So it's 4m. And what I did was I pulled 4m from that polynomial, right? So whatever's remaining, I'm going to write that in. So this is going to be what? 2m squared minus 3mn plus 5, right? N squared. That's what's going to be remaining, right? Now, let's say that we couldn't see how did I do that? How did I get that, right? Whatever you pull out as the factor, which in this case is the 4m, right? Whatever you pull out as the factor, you can just simply divide each one by it. Very simply, just divide them out. Just like that, right? And then that will give you the remainder that's in the parentheses right there, right? So for example, 8 divided by 4, we know is 2. There goes our 2 right there. M to the third power divided by m. Remember, whenever we have exponents, we subtract. 3 minus 1 is m squared. There it is, right? A negative divided by a positive is a negative. There goes our negative right here, right? 12 divided by 4, we know is 3. There it is. M squared divided by m, you know, it's just going to leave back just m and the n right here. Boom. 20 divided by 4, 5, right? And then the m's will cancel out, leaving back just n squared. All right. So that's our technique now, right? You're going to factor it out. And then after that, you're going to write the remainder next to it in parentheses. If you could see it, cool. If you can't see it, just divide it out and it'll always work. All right. Questions on this? It's good? Mn, because you see how the 8m cubed in the beginning doesn't have an n, so because of that, it's not a factor, right? They all have to have the same thing going through, right? If there's even one slight difference, then it's not a factor. Yeah. Let me get y'all try one. I want to hog all the fun. Let y'all try it. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm sad that we only meeting this week. I mean, today. Yeah. Remember though, next week is gonna be the test though. Yeah, on Tuesday. I want to do it today, but kind of thought it wouldn't be fair because I just gave y'all the last lesson. I just like gave y'all the homework last week, so I wanted y'all to have an opportunity to ask questions today. I didn't realize y'all would have so much time to study though, but it's all good. The review sheet was posted last week, but I'm gonna throw it up again. And since I'm not gonna talk to y'all again, pantry next week. So y'all didn't sign up yet, sign up, get your free groceries, Oh, by the way, I know we have the holiday again. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no classes scheduled. Tutoring is open. So if you guys want to go, please. It's open 12 to 6. Every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 12 to 6. In person and online. So whatever works best for you, please do. Right? And trust and believe, like just how you have that thought, like I ain't coming to school that day. Every other student has that thought. So if y'all go to tutoring, y'all probably get one-on-one help that day. Because ain't nobody wanna come in. Yeah, yeah. I'll be online Wednesday and Thursday, right, all day. So y'all can just come on and do whatever. Friday, however, I'll be in person all day. Saturday, I have a half day. I'll be there from 3 to 6. You guys are welcome to join me. If my schedule don't work for you, please go see somebody else. Like I'm not offended. As long as y'all understand, that's what's most important. All right, let's take a look. What y'all think? What's the greatest common factor here? 3y. No, 3y squared. Now we're talking. All right? 3y squared. And what's left over? 3x, good. Plus x squared, good. So plus 7y. Very good. All right. Everybody got that? So we good with factoring, the greatest common factor. We know how to pull it out. Write down what's left over. Remember, once again, right? If you can't see what's going to be left over, just divide everything by the factor. And then it becomes clear what's going to be left over. All right? As if you can't see it, right? That's how you make it clear. Right? And then easiest way to determine the factor, spread out everything, circle what they have in common, and then you can see it. All right. All right, let's take it up a notch. Let's make it harder. Let's make it harder. Help me out. What's the answer here? So 5x squared, good. What's left over? X. Close. Close. So negative divided by positive is a negative. -5. Now we're talking. All right. Very good, very good, very good. You guys try another one. How about that? All of it. 5x squared times x minus 5. Yeah. Yeah, even with the homework, like it wants that whole thing. Yeah. Another thing too, some of the questions in the homework are really particular. They're gonna tell you like write the factor first, then write the remainder right after, you know? Mathematically speaking, though, just want to be clear, it doesn't matter which one you write first versus the other. It's just common convention to write the factor first and then the remainder, right? And remember, the reason why it doesn't matter, multiplication, right? It's commutative, right? So 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2, right? So that's why it doesn't matter. But for the computer's sake, we do it that way. All right, what do we think? Very good. What's left over?
6.
X plus 6. Good. Questions on that? Good? All right. Let's keep it moving. What about this one? What do we think? So I heard 2, I heard X. Okay, what else? No, 2XY, right? Because each one has an X, each one has a Y, right? And we want the one with the lowest power, right? So there's a Y to the 1, there's an X to the 1. So boom, 2XY, right? What's left over? What's left over? 4, I heard that. Say again? 4X what? Very good. No, no Y, because we have the Y in the factor, right? So minus 5. Very good. And then plus 6 Y squared. Very good. And again, if it wasn't clear, divide everything by the factor, and it would all be clear. All right? All right, this sounds good. Let you guys try one. All right, let's take a look. What do we think here? What do we think? Okay, 3 xy. Very good. What's left over? 5x squared, very good. Minus xy, very good. Plus 2y squared. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Questions on this? Any questions on it? Make sense? All right. We're getting kind of good at this. I like that. I like that. All right. How about this? What's the greatest common factor here? 4. It's a piece of it. 4a, that's a piece of negative 4. Now we're talking, right? So this is negative 4a, right? And what's left over? Good. Not plus. Minus. What is it? Is it 7? I'm not even sure. 36, 18. It's 9, I think. 9a. Plus 2. Nope, just 2. And that's it. All right. So here's the lesson here, right? The sign of my leading coefficient, right? This is my leading coefficient right here. The sign of my leading coefficient is the sign of my factor, always. All right? They have the same sign. All right? The sign of my leading coefficient is the sign of my factor. And once again, if it's not clear, divide by the factor, all the terms. And then that's how you can see, it's supposed to be an A, by the way. That's how you can see what the remainder will be to write it next to it. Okay? Which one? Oh, sure. So to find the greatest common factor? Yeah. Got you. I'm gonna just do it underneath. So I have negative 4a cubed. We know that's gonna be what? That's gonna be negative 1 times 2 times 2 times a times a times a. I gotta work on my a's. I don't know. All right, then I have 36a squared. So 36a squared. So what is that? That's 2 times 2 times, wait, hold on, let me think. Yeah, times 3 times 3 times a, right? And then let me get the last one, negative 8a. Let me write that, negative 8a, right? So that's gonna be 2, excuse me. That's gonna be negative 1 times 2 times 2 times 2, yep, times a, right? After that, you want to circle what they have in common. They all have an a in common, right? It's going to be a funky circle right here. Bear with me 1 second. They all got 2 in common. I'm gonna do one of these. Yeah, that's a little funky, right? Now, they don't all have negative 1 in common, right? But the general rule is, whatever the sign of your leading coefficient, that's the sign of your factor, right? Whatever the sign of your leading coefficient, that's the sign of your factor. So just because there's a negative 1 right here in the leading coefficient, that's gonna be the factor. right? So GCF is negative, right? Wait, hold up. Am I blind? Hold on, I'm sorry. My fault, my glasses got foggy. I didn't realize that there was two twos that they had in common. My mistake, right? So it's negative 4A. Sorry about that. My mistake. All right. And that's how you figure that out. Mhm. Let me let you guys try one. All right. Let's take a look. What do we think is the greatest common factor here? We'll go rainbow now. Negative 4B. I like that. What's left over? Mm-hmm. Minus 4B plus 2, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. So look, remember. Yeah. Yeah, so negative right by negative positive. Yeah. Go ahead. Which ones? The ones that are negative 4B. Uh-huh. So to get back to the original question here, what I'd have to do is distribute it, right? But I'm not interested in getting back to the original. I want to go from the original to the factors. So that's what I'm doing here. So whatever you see here together, this is the remainder from the original question above. Like I factored out everything and this is what's gonna stay there. Yeah. That's it. This was really great. This was really, really great. So I wanna take it up a notch real quick. So now I want to factor out a binomial, right? I'm not even trying to do monomials no more. Now I want to factor out a binomial. So I have 3y times y plus 7 minus 4 times y plus 7, right? All right, help me out real quick. What do they have in common? What does both terms have in common? What is it? Y plus 7, right? They both got a y plus 7. So I'm going to factor out y plus 7. Boom. There it goes. Y plus 7. You remember what I do after I factored out, right? It's like I'm dividing by the y plus 7. I'm dividing by the y plus 7, right? So help me out. What's left over in parentheses? 3y? Exactly. That's my full answer. I'm done. Questions on that? No? All right. Let me let you guys try one. Oh, yeah. Take your time. I'm gonna let y'all try one, but I'm gonna make it a little bit harder. Y'all gonna have M's. Try that out real quick. All right, let's take a look. Whew, this is hard. What's the greatest common factor here? Woo. 2 + 3. Very good. What's left over? -7. That was perfect. Questions on this? Good? All right, let's keep it moving. Just know I am really, really impressed by everyone. I'm really, really impressed. All right, so when we started off today, right? We spoke about how to factor monomials, right? Monomials mean one term, and we do that by doing the greatest common factor, right? And then now, right, we spoke about how to break it out of a polynomial, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about, right? Let's say that I have 4 terms, right? 4 terms. How do I factor a polynomial that has 4 terms? That's what I want to get to, right? Now, there's a trick to this, right? And the trick is called factor by grouping. So that's what we're going to learn right now. So let's say that I have 4 terms like I do in this question right here. I have xy plus 3y plus 2x plus 6, right? And I want to factor this. It has 4 terms. I want to factor this, right? What I got to do is I have to group two of the terms together, right? So here's how I group the two terms. I draw a line down the middle, and that's my group. I have a left group and a right group, right? On my left group, right? Just looking at the left group now. So that's the xy plus 3y, right? The xy plus 3y. What's the greatest common factor there? Y, right? And what's left over? Plus 3. Excellent, right? Now I'm looking at the right group. The right group. So the right group is a 2x plus 6. What's the greatest common factor there? Nope.
No, two.
2, right? That's it, right? So I'm going to factor out a positive 2. So after I factor out a positive 2, what's left over? Plus 3, right? Boom, right? Almost done, right? Now I have this other polynomial right here. What's the greatest common factor here? Right? X plus 3, right? So I'm going to factor that out. X plus 3. And what's left over? Y plus 2, right? And then boom, that's my final answer. Questions on that? It's called factor by grouping. No questions? All right, let me let y'all try one. Let you guys try one. I should have grouped it so long. My fault. All right, let's take a look. So remember what I want to do? I want to group the first two together, group the last two together. So that's a better group right there, right? So looking at the left-hand group, that's the xy plus 8y. What's the greatest common factor there? Y, right? And then what's left over? Very good, x plus 8. Now I'm looking at the second group, right? That's a 3x plus 24. What's the greatest common factor there? 3, right? So it's going to be plus 3. And then what's left over? Perfect. Perfect. Now, I'm looking at this new polynomial that we have. Greatest common factor, what's that? Very good. And what's left over? So y plus 3, right? And that's my final answer. Questions on that?
Wait,
Go ahead.
but the last one, I got the whole sentence right, but
Uh-huh.
the last one for the 24, I need that.
Oh, got you. So what we're doing is we're dividing each one of these by 3. So these 3's cancel out, and then 24 divided by 3, that's the 8 on the last part. Yeah. All right. This is all sounding really, really good to me. All right. Before I go on, I just want to give you guys a little bit of notes real quick. So this is factor by grouping. So step 1, group the terms with the common factors. So first 2 terms, last 2 terms. Step 2, factor out the common factor in each group. Step 3, factor the common factor from the expression. Step 4, check by multiplying your factors. All right. Questions on this? We good? All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Oh, sure. Take your time. Cool. So I want to try to. Now that we got the rules, let's try some more. All right. So I'm looking at A. For A, I got x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. All right. Now the rules are the same, right? The rules are the same. So I'm gonna group the first 2 together, just like that, right? So I have a left-hand group, a right-hand group, right? On my left-hand group, that's the x squared plus 3x, greatest common factor. What's that? X, right? And then that leaves back x plus 3. Very good. On my right-hand group, that's the negative 2x minus 6. What's the greatest common factor there? Negative 2. That's what I'm talking about. All right, good job. And what does that leave back? X plus 3. Very good. And then, last but not least, greatest common factor for our new polynomial. What's that? X plus 3. And then does that leave back? X minus 2. And then that's my final answer right there. Questions on this? Let's check out B. So for B, I have 6x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 2, right? And then over here, I want to do the same thing. I'm going to group the first 2 terms together, group the last 2 terms together, right? We'll just do that real quick. Boom, right? So I'm looking at my left-hand group. That's a 6x squared minus 3x. What's the greatest common factor there? 3x, perfect. What does that leave behind? Nope. Minus what? 2x minus what? Nope. 1. That's it. All right. So remember, it's like we're factoring out 3x, right? A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 3x divided by 3x is just 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Right? How about that right-hand group? That's negative 4x plus 2 is, I heard what? 2, close. Give me something better. Negative 2, right? Because remember, the sign of my leading coefficient is the sign of my factor, right? So it's going to be negative 2. And what's left over? No. So remember, it's like I'm dividing by negative 2, like I'm dividing by negative 2. So 2x. No, minus 1, right? All right, now, greatest common factor, one more time. 2x minus 1. What's left over? 3x minus 2. Excellent. And then that's my answer. Questions on this? No? All right. You guys try. Try it out. Yeah, no problem. Remember, it's the first floor. Yeah. You're welcome. All right, let's take a look. So I'm looking at A. I have x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10. All right? I want to group first two terms together. What's the greatest common factor there? X, very good. What's left over? Perfect. Now I'm looking at the second group, right? That's the negative 5x minus 10. What's the greatest common factor there? Negative 5. What does that leave behind? Those two. Very good. Mhm. Very good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's check out B. So I have a 20 x squared minus 16x minus 15x plus 12. Sure, sure, no problem. Remember, it's on the first floor. Yeah. Yeah. You can use that staircase. Yeah, yeah. Use that staircase. All right, anyway, I have 20x squared minus 16x minus 15x plus 12. Right? Remember what I want to do. I want to group the first two terms together, group the last two terms together. Right? There we go. So in my left-hand group, that's the 20x squared minus 16x. What's the greatest common factor there? Good. What else? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what's left over? Remember, like you're dividing by 4x. Dividing by 4x. What is it?
I took this out.
Oh. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then this will kill the x, so just x. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. Yeah. It's a negative, right? And then 16 divided by 4 is 4. And the x's here will cancel out. Now I'm looking at the right-hand group. I have negative 15x plus 12. What's the greatest common factor there? The 5, 20 divided by 4. Yeah. So what is it? X? No. What is it? The negative 15x plus 12. What's the greatest common factor there? Not x, not 1. Negative 3. That's it. Right? So I'm gonna factor out a negative 3 here. Right? So remember, it's like I'm dividing by negative 3, like I'm dividing by negative 3. Right? So negative 15 divided by negative 3 is 5. And then x, and then I have positive 12 divided by negative 3 is what? Negative 4. Very good. Greatest common factor one more time, right? Now I have 5x minus 4. And what's left over? 4x minus 3. And then that's my answer. Questions on this? Anyway. That's what's left over from the 5x minus 4. Yeah. And then the 4x was the greatest common factor of the left group. And the negative 3 was the greatest common factor of the right group. That's it. All right. Questions on it? All right, bear with me 1 second. One second. Dame confirmar. Mm, Trying to decide if I should continue on because we've done a little bit early, or y'all want extra time to study. What y'all want? Trying to study? All right. So let's call it at that for today. All right. Y'all homework is already posted, so if y'all want to spend the rest of the time going through it, cool. Right? In the meantime, however, right, we could take a look at the review sheet. If you guys have any questions, take it out, you know. On my end, I'm gonna try and bring it up. You know, y'all just tell me what question y'all have and I'll just cut and paste it. Just give me a second though, like, to find it. Like I'm here and it's like I hear people call my name. I want to be like, yo, I'm here. No, they're not talking about me. All right, so that's review sheet 1. All right, y'all can take a look at it. Any questions y'all want to go over, just holler. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna just take a seat because we're pretty much done with the lecture for now.
It's plus X. Well, expert plus X.
So expert plus X?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you want to do with the factor?
Yeah, it's such a great common factor.
All right, so what do they have in common? Exactly. What's left over? X what? X something is left over. Let's take a look. All right, so the question that was asked is we have x squared plus x, right? And then we want to factor this. So the greatest common factor we said was x, right? I agree. So what's left over? Remember, it's like you're dividing by x, like you're dividing by x. What's left over? X plus 1, that's it. And that's your answer. All right. No, that's one of the homework questions. This topic is on the no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. This topic is not on the review. It's not on your test. Next test, we're gonna do that. Yeah. I didn't want to waste the day, you know, so I wanted to like actually teach y'all something. So that's why. But everything that we covered from the beginning up to last week, Thursday, that's on the test. Yeah. Which circles? Red blue. Yes, that's on there too. Yeah. So I got review sheet 1 open. I feel like nobody has a question about question 1. I feel like y'all all know how to do that. No, the review sheet. The review sheet, yeah. It's on Brightspace. It's the last update that was on Brightspace. Very last update. I'm gonna give y'all a formula sheet so you don't have to walk in here thinking that you have to memorize everything.
I believe the formula sheet was posted too, so y'all could take a look at that as well. The last announcement. We got evaluating the functions, right? We just plug in the value, solving for X, remember that? Solving for a specific variable, that's another one. All right, we got the inequalities, solving for X and then graphing the inequality. Right, problem. Graph the line. 10H. Yeah, that's possible. Let's go over that. Give me 1 second. And I'm still recording, so if you see a question that you want to go over and then you just want to watch it back later, that's fine too. You guys have a lot of time before your test, a lot of time. So here we go. This is 10H right here. So I got 24, a to the 5th power, b to the 4th, plus 16, a to the 7, b to the 3rd, minus 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, all divided by 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, right? So my recommendation for doing the question like this, right? Oh, well, what I was gonna say is what's on the bottom, put that on the bottom of everyone individually, right? So for example, I'm gonna have 24, a to the 5th, b to the 4th, over the 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, plus the 16, a to the 7, b to the 3rd, over the 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, minus the 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, over the 8, a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, right? So I feel like this helps and makes it a little bit easier. So we're gonna do first the numbers, right? Let's do 24 divided by 8 is what? 3, very good. A squared, very good. B squared, perfect. And then positive divided by positive is positive. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And then we have a to the what? 4, right? 7 minus 3, 4. And then b to the 1, right? Now a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and then 8a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd over 8a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd is what? 1, right?
You just put A, right?
For which one? Yeah, a to the 3rd, yeah. And that's it. This is the full answer right here. Yeah.
How about
Sure. Let me just grab it real quick. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Is it number 10 also? Okay. All right. So this was for I, number 10, on the review sheet. I'm just talking like that for the recording, by the way. So anyway, right? Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. Anyway, right? A little bit different because this is a multiplication. This is not an addition or subtraction, right? So what I would do here is I would multiply the top first and then do my division on the bottom, right? So let's do that real quick, right? So I have 3ab to the negative 1 times 5a to the 3rd, b to the 2nd, all divided by 3a to the 3rd, b, and all of that raised to the 2nd power. You know what? I made a mistake, right? Because the first thing I'm supposed to do is exponents, right? Remember PEMDAS? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Say it again. The bottom, right. I have to do that square first, and then I can do the multiplication and division and all that other good stuff, right? So let's square the bottom. So I'm gonna have 3ab to the negative 1 times 5. I'm sorry, hold on, little freezing over here. 5a cubed b squared, all divided by, now let's square the bottom. So 9, very good. A to the 6, very good. B squared, all right? Questions on that? Everybody saw how I got that, right? Yeah, we're just squaring it, right? So remember, every body inside of the term gets the square, boom, boom. Okay, now let's do the multiplication of the top, right? Let's get a single top. So remember, numbers with numbers, variables with variables, right? So what's the top gonna be, all right? So 3 times 5 is 15, a to the 4th power, right? So remember, when we multiply exponents, we add their powers, right? So that's 1 plus 3, and then b to the, exactly, b to the 1 power, right? Because negative 1 plus 2 is just positive 1. And all of that is divided by 9, a to the 6, b to the 2nd. So now, how do I divide exponents? What do I do? Exactly, right? So I'm gonna have what? 15 over a, excuse me, over 9. Sorry about that. And then you're gonna have a to the what power? Exactly, a to the negative 2 power, right? Always top minus bottom, right? Top minus bottom. And then I have b to the, oh, not negative 2. Right, so this is going to become b to the 1 minus 2, which is what? Negative 1, right? So I have 15 over 9, a to the negative 2, and b to the negative 1. Now I have some problems here, right? I'm not allowed, right, to have negative exponents, right? So I have to throw them in the denominator and make them positive. So my final answer is going to be what? 15 over 9 a squared b. That's it. The one next to the 15? Yeah, I could put a 1 here. That's no problem. Yeah. Same thing. Questions on that? That makes sense. All right. Say it again. 4, 4, 4. A to the 4th? Up here. It's a times a to the 3rd. It's a to the 4th. Yeah. Got you. 5a, okay. I'm sorry? Sure, sure. I'm sorry. Like, you want to go from the beginning? Okay. Okay. You're welcome. And that'll be the rest of it. You want this too? You want this too? Okay. Just checking 5a, right? Uh-huh.
But for the one we just did, experience, by,
Let me see.
maybe negative, times 5, or
On the numerator you're asking?
yeah.
So you have b to the 1, negative 1, excuse me, times b to the 2nd. So when you multiply them, you add them. So negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I have, what's this? Celsius is equal to 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32, and they want us to solve for F. Solve for F. So I have C is equal to 5/9 times F minus 32. All right. So first problem that I have is I have that 5/9. I want to get rid of that number that's multiplying the times the variable. So I'm going to divide by what? 5/9. Right. What I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the other side of the equation. 5/9. And after that, remember this is going to be keep, change, flip, right? So I have C/1 times 9/5. Multiplying straight across, what do I have? I have 9C/5, right? So what do we have? 9C/5 is equal to F minus 32. Now to get to the final answer, all you have to do is add 32 to the other side. Right? But what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And now we have what? Equals F. Yep, that's it. 9C/5 plus 32. Sorry? Yeah. You're welcome.
For number 3A, it says it shows you that F equals 50, so if you want that, we just.
Let me catch up with you.
It's like the same problem that we're showing that F equals 50.
Yeah, so it's similar. I want you to plug in 50 for F. So you're gonna do like 50 minus 32, and then you're gonna multiply that by 5/9. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah, those are like evaluating. So you just plug them in and that's it. Yeah. Sure. 11 what? All of them? So this was kind of like the last topic that we did. I got you. So I'm looking at 11, by the way. This is 11A. So what they want us to do is they want us to take it from scientific notation into decimal, right? So let me start off like this. I have 3.5. And then I want to move the decimal 3 spaces, right? Am I moving to the left or the right? What do you think? To the left, right? 3 spaces. I'll see you, man. Have a good night. All right. 1, 2, 3. Right? So what's my answer? My answer is going to be 0.0035. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, really, really important. 11B. All right, let's take a look. Just bear with me 1 second. All right, 11B. So what I want to do here, right? I want to multiply these two numbers that are in scientific notation, right? So the way that I multiply these, I'm going to multiply the numbers with the numbers and then the exponents with the exponents, right? So 2 times 6 is what? 12, right? So that's 12. And then now I'm going to multiply the exponents, right? So I have 10 to the third times 10 to the -1, which is going to be 10 to the 2 power, right? Oops.
And then you can do the same thing with
But wait, I have an issue here though, right? I have a 12, like 12 point times 10 to the 2. I'm not allowed to have my digits in front be bigger than 9. So I have to make it smaller than 9. So I'm gonna move this over 1 to the to the left-hand side, right? So 1.2, right? But then now when I move that over 1, I have to increase the power over here by 1. So my final answer is 1.2 times 10 to the third power. And that would be the answer for this. So let's take a look at C. Bear with me 1 second. Right. So whenever I'm dealing with scientific notation, the first number has to be between 1 and 9. It could be 1 or 9, but it has to be between 1 and 9. Then you have the decimal, and then whatever else comes after that, and then times 10 to whatever power. And that's scientific notation. Sorry about that, 1 second. All right, we good. Hey, what's good, man? How are you, man? You up here right now? I got you. Yeah. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Let's see, man. All right. So I got no problem. Great job catching up.
Yeah, but these are the ones that photo I missed.
Right.
I didn't find those emails.
I got you.
So the video photo of you.
They're posted, yeah. And you can look at the title of that and you can match it to the video.
Okay.
Yeah, see the announcements. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I have 2/5 times 10 to the third divided by, wait, let me say that again. I have 2 times 10 to the third divided by 5 times 10 to the 6, right? So the first thing I want to do, right, I want to divide that 2 divided by 5, right? So let's do that real quick, right? So basically I'm dividing numbers with numbers and I'm dividing the exponents with the exponents, right? So 2/5 we know is the same thing as we have the 5 on the outside and the 2. Now 5 goes into 2 0 times. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract, this is 2. Decimal point, add a decimal here. 5 goes into 20, I think 4 times, right? And 4 times that, boom, awesome, right? So what do I have? Let me scroll down a little bit. So I have 0.4 after doing the math. This is the 2 divided by 5. 0.4 times 10 to what power? Close. No. -3, right? Because remember, this is going to be the, right, 3 minus 6 power. So 0.4 times 10 to the -3 power. I have an issue though with this though, right? It's not between 1 and 9. My first digit is 0. So I got to move this over 1. Right? But look where I'm moving it to. I'm moving it to the right. So if I move it to the right, right, I got to decrease this by 1, right? So now what do I have? I have 4 times 10 to the negative what? No, negative what? 4 power, right? And then that's my answer for this. All right? Yeah. And if you understand everything and you want to knock out the homework for tonight, please be my guest. No problem. Sure. Number 6. Let me catch up with you. Sorry? I got you. No problem. No problem. All right, which number or letter? Okay. So the instructions here are to solve for the inequality and then graph it. Right? Solve for the inequality and then graph it. That's the instructions here. So I have 2x plus 1 is less than 4x minus 3. So first thing I want to do is I want to solve for x. Right? So what do you guys want to do first? All right, minus 4x, very good. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So now what do I have? Say it again. Uh-huh. Plus 1. Good. Perfect. What do I do after that? Perfect. Subtract 1 from here. What I do to one side, gotta do to the other. Uh-huh. Negative 2x what? Less than or equal to. Good. Negative 4. Perfect. And then now I want x by itself. Right. I'm going to divide by negative 2 to get x by itself. But what I do to one side, do to the other. So I have x is what? Not equals to. What's the inequality?
Oh, less.
Nope.
Do you switch it?
You switch it, right? Greater than or equal to 2.
And that's only, when does it happen when we don't have to switch?
So we always switch it when we divide by a negative number. So because we divided by negative 2, we have to switch our inequality. So I have x is greater than or equal to 2.
So if it was divided by 2, you don't have to switch it.
Right, I leave it alone. Now they ask us to graph it, right? So what you have to do is you have to give me a number line, right? I'm just gonna put 2 right here, right? And you know the numbers that are bigger than 2, right? So I have like 3, 4, 5, you get the idea, right? And you know the numbers that are smaller than 2. So that's like 1, 0, -1, -2, etc. Right? Now this is x greater than or equal to. So we're gonna have a closed circle at 2. Right? And then it says greater than equal to. So I want to shade everything to the right because these numbers are bigger than 2. That's it.
And for 6C, it's the same thing, we just have to distribute the 2x, 3 and stuff like that.
6C, yeah. So first thing you're gonna do here, right? Looking at 6C, you're gonna distribute that -1, and then distribute the -2 on the left and the right. Then you combine like terms.
And then do the same thing.
Right.
And how about for the
Which one?
for the
4D. CD. Okay. So for 4D, right? In order for me to solve for x in this situation, I have to find the LCD. They have to all have the same denominator. Right? We could try that one. Let's see. So this is for 4D. So I have x plus 2 over 5 minus x plus 3 over 4 is equal to 5 over 2. So what would we say our LCD is? For 5, 4, and 2. It's 20, right? So I know that my LCD here is going to be 20, right? So how do I change a 5 to a 20? I have to multiply it by what? 4. But what I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. How do I change a 4 to 20? Multiply this by 5. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And then when I have a 2, right? 5 over 2. How do I change a 2 into a 20? Times 10. But what I do to the bottom, do to the top. And then what do I have? I have 4 times x plus 2 minus or parentheses, x plus 3, excuse me, minus 5, x plus 3, is equal to 5 times 10. That's it. No, we gotta solve for x. So distribute, combine like terms, move everything to the other side, and that's the end of it, right? So I'm gonna have what? 4x plus 8, and then minus 5x, what was it? Not plus 15. Minus 15 is equal to 50. Very good. Now combine like terms. 4x minus 5x is, so negative x. 8 minus 5 is what? 15, excuse me. Woo. 8 minus 15 is what? 15, 16, 17. Yeah. So negative 7. Is it 8? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Is equal to 50. What do I do after that? Divide by 20? Not divide by 20. Right. So not minus 7, plus 7, right? I'm gonna add 7 here. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So now I have negative x is equal to 57. What do I do after that? Exactly. Divide by negative 1. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So I have what? X is equal to negative 57. That's excellent. That's my answer. Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah. Once I get the same denominator under all of them, I can just use the numerators. Anything else? One M. Okay. 1M. C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. That was my song back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. All right. A little bit hard. A little bit hard. All right. Okay. So, trying to think if I'm gonna get the same answer if I do it this way. I want to give you a shortcut and just tell you multiply the big numbers with the big numbers and the fraction with the fraction. But I'm not sure if that's going to yield the same answer. So let's do it the correct way. That I know we'll get the right answer. Then we'll experiment with that afterwards for fun. All right. So the proper way to do this is to actually change the mixed number into an improper fraction, and then multiply. Right. So improper fraction. Right. We take the big number, multiply it times its denominator, right? And then we add it to the numerator and put it over the same denominator. So negative 3 times 6, negative 18, plus 5 would give me a what? Negative, no, negative 13 over 6. Right, hold on one second. Okay, I'm good. Oh, we're freezing there. Okay, so now 1 times 4, and then add it to 3, right? So that's gonna be what? 7 over 4, right? After you have this, you can now multiply straight across. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know what 7 times 13 is. What is that? Right, so negative 91 over 6 and 6 is 1224. And then that's my answer, right? I would accept that, right? Let's say we wanted to flip it back into the mixed number, right? Like say this was another class or something, right? What's in the denominator goes on the outside, numerator goes on the inside, right? And then you can just kind of throw it in the calculator at that point. 91 divided by 24. That's gonna give you 3.79. I'll leave it at that. 3.79. So then you know 3 goes into excuse me, let me say that again. 24 goes into 91 3 times, and we know that 24 times 3 is equal to what? That's 72. I'm gonna subtract this. This is gonna become 8. This is 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. 8 minus 7 is 1. Decimal point right here. Bring this down. Now 24 goes into 190. We know 7 times, and then 24 times 7. Let's see what that is. 168. Let's subtract that. This is gonna be 8. This is gonna be 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 6, 2. Imaginary 0, bring that down. 24 goes into 220. Let's see. 9 times, right? And 9 times 2, 22. 198. This is gonna become what? 10. This is 1. Right? 10 minus 8 is 2. This is 1. This is 1. 11 minus 9. What's that? 2. So final answer would be what? It would be 3. And then remainder 22. Right? Over the divisor 24. Reduce that a little bit. Let's say we cut it by 2. I have 311 over 12. Now, wait, hold on. Keep that negative. Forgot that, right? But let's see. I want to see if I get that right, though, doing this. So -3 times 1, that is -3. And then let's see if we get 11. 5 times 3, 15. 6 times 4, so it's 24. That didn't work. This is the right answer, though, the way to get it.
ATU accepted, you need a negative 1
-11 over 24, yeah. Anybody else with questions, or y'all good? All right, if you guys are good, you guys can go and start your homework. May I stop the recording and take this down? That's okay? All right. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right. Remember, test next week, everyone. All right. Have a good night.